Animal feeding is a fundamental aspect for their survival, and some must adapt to somewhat particular diets to survive. Oriental honey buzzards are a species of bird of prey that mainly feed on wasp and bee larvae, pieces of comb, and honey. Although this may sound quite simple, feeding on these insects can be very dangerous for any bird that attempts it, due to the possibility of being attacked by wasps and bees, especially when they try to eat their offspring. This bird, however, have developed a rather ingenious way to protect themselves while they feed. These birds have evolved with hard, scale-like feathers near their beaks and eyes, which allow them to act like armor against insect stings. Additionally, these feathers have special grooves that increase their effectiveness against stings. This protection system is particularly effective in males, which makes them stand out compared to other bird species. This type of plumage, which acts like a kind of chain mail, is exclusive to Oriental honey buzzards and allows them to survive in an environment where other predators may not succeed. The buzzards not only benefit from this evolutionary armor, but they have also been considered by some as cunning and deceitful. There is a popular belief on the island of Java that Oriental honey buzzards steal beehives and then lure angry bees towards humans to attack them. Although this theory has not been confirmed, it speaks to the intelligence and adaptability of these animals. Their evolutionary armor has allowed them to thrive in a hostile world, and their cunning has led some to wonder if these birds may be even more intelligent than previously thought. In summary, Oriental honey buzzards are an example of how species can adapt to survive in their environment, even if that means feeding on dangerous insects. The hooded pitohui is a bird that has developed a unique adaptation to survive in its natural environment. Despite its small size and fruit-based diet, the hooded pitohui has become one of the most feared animals on the island of New Guinea due to its dangerous toxic skin. Before 1989, the toxicity of the hooded pitohui went unnoticed by scientists. It was then that ornithologist Jack Dumbacher discovered it in an unexpected way. While trying to release one of these birds that had become caught in his nets, the hooded pitohui scratched him, causing cuts on his skin. Jack brought his finger to his mouth to relieve the pain, but his tongue and lips had become numb. Soon after, scientists discovered that hooded pitohuis eat Melirid beetles, which are poisonous. By accumulating so much toxin in their skin, hooded pitohuis become one of the most toxic birds in the world. Although natives of New Guinea eat hooded pitohuis as a last resort, only after carefully cooking them and removing their skin, there have been reports of cases where accidental ingestion of this bird has led to death. In fact, the skin of a single hooded pitohui is enough to kill several mice. It is therefore advisable to stay away from this bird. In summary, its dangerous toxic skin makes it a feared bird, even among local inhabitants. While it is a reminder that nature can be unpredictable and dangerous, it also teaches us the importance of respecting the natural world and trying to understand it in its complexity. Armadillos are known to have a bony structure in the form of a shell made up of many small shields that provide excellent protection for the head, shoulders, and pelvic area. Although it cannot be claimed that they are completely bulletproof, nature did not design them for that purpose. However, there are some curious cases that have caught people's attention. In Texas, a man shot an armadillo 3 times, and one of the bullets bounced off and hit him, requiring him to be taken to the hospital. In Georgia, for some reason, a man also shot at an armadillo, but the bullet bounced off its shell and suspiciously hit his mother-in-law who was resting nearby. Fortunately, she is fine, but these curious cases should not make us forget more serious issues. It is important to remember that armadillos are an important part of the ecosystem and deserve our respect and protection. During the Great Emu War in Australia in 1932, these birds were eating agricultural crops, leaving people without food. To solve the problem, war was declared on the emus and soldiers were sent armed with machine guns to shoot them down. However, the emus proved to be surprisingly resistant to machine gun fire. Their speed of over 40 kilometers per hour and thick feathers made them practically immune to bullets. It took around 10 bullets to bring down a single emu, and the birds were so fast that they scattered before the soldiers could shoot them. The commander of the offensive, Major Meredith, said that if they had a military division with the same bullet-carrying capacity as the emus, they could face any army in the world with the toughness of a tank. Thus, the emus proved to be unexpectedly bullet-resistant animals, earning them the nickname bulletproof emus. Ants are recognized for their resistance due to their exoskeleton. However, they did not settle for that, but developed a biomineral cover that turns them into ants' rock. Their armor is made of calcite with a high magnesium content, a material that is normally only found in crustaceans such as crabs and lobsters, but not in insects. This rocky shield is formed by thousands of tiny plate-shaped crystals that reinforce their exoskeleton. This armor does not appear out of nowhere, but the ants benefit from symbiotic bacteria to protect themselves from harmful fungi and at the same time gradually build their armor. The armor helps to keep the ants' limbs intact during fights against other ants. In summary, ant are a surprisingly strong species with their unique mineral armor that helps them in combat. In terms of armor, one made of bacteria is not comparable to one made of feces. Some chrysumlid beetles are born inside a cocoon made of their mother's feces. The female spreads the feces all over the egg, and when the beetle hatches, it crawls along with its cocoon and adds more feces as it grows. This fecal armor deters predators, as they often think it is just a piece of dung. But if you found that interesting, let me tell you about the diabolical ironclad beetle, or Nosoderma diabolicum. It looks like a piece of asphalt about 2 centimeters long, cannot fly, and would not be very interesting to scientists if not for its incredible strength. It can withstand up to 39,000 times its own weight, which means it can withstand the load of 25 blue whales, 40 M1 Abrams tanks, or 280 double-decker buses. This strength is necessary to protect itself from predators, but insect collectors are not as enthusiastic about the beetle due to its extremely hard armor. Among entomologists, the diabolical ironclad beetle is known for its incredible strength, and its armor is even harder to penetrate than the steel pins used to mount insects for display. To penetrate this beetle's armor, a hammer or drill would be needed, meaning even the most skillful predators would have difficulty doing so. Meet Cystosoma, a creature that can only be seen through a photo or video with artificial light, as there is not enough natural light to see it. Its transparency is impressive, allowing it to blend in with the water and hide in the open sea. But Cystosoma has gone one step further and developed a layer of invisibility and anti-reflective coating that allows them to avoid predators that shine light on their prey. The structure of their body is similar to the wings of Greta Oto butterflies, but this is just one of their adaptations. Although scientists have not yet discovered how Cystosoma evolved, it is not the only transparent creature in the ocean. Some fish larvae are also transparent, which helps them blend in with the water until they grow and have better protection. Have you ever experienced the feeling of being unremarkable as a child and then, as an adult, having a scale vest? Probably not, but the Arapaima fish, yes. When you live in the Amazon River, you need protection, and these fish have a great body armor with hard and mineralized scales that are difficult to penetrate. The outer layer of their armor is connected to an elastic inner layer made of collagen, which means that the scales can deform when bitten but don't break or pierce, thus protecting the fish from injury. Even if someone attacks the Arapaima and bites it with force, they won't be able to penetrate it. This protection is so complex and useful that scientists plan to recreate something like make bulletproof vests. However, while scientists may try to replicate this protection, nature remains superior. Currently, the biggest threat to the Arapaima is giant otters, which are capable of biting through this natural bulletproof vest. It's scary to imagine how these fish could evolve in a few million years, which could be a serious concern for giant otters. Musk oxen face several challenges in their cold habitat, including frost and predators. However, these animals are well equipped to survive. They have horns and a strong skull to defend themselves from predators, and their body is covered by a dense fur that has 2 layers, a long hair on the outside and an inner skin that is 8 times warmer than sheep's wool. This thick layer of fur is very effective in keeping the ox warm, even in extremely cold temperatures that can drop below 40 degrees below zero. The body shape of musk oxen, with short legs and a barrel shape, also helps them to retain heat. In addition, these animals try to minimize their activity to conserve energy and avoid excessive walking in the cold weather. Although they face many challenges, musk oxen are highly adapted to their environment and have developed a series of features to survive. Did you know all these animal curiosities? Let me know in the comments which ones you didn't know. See you in the next video.